My name is Mike Gallagher. This is Brett Cloutier. We are back again, gracing the Augsburg website with our presence. Not that it's not that missed in the first place, but
maybe for some.
About 5-6 years ago,
yeah,
something like that. Okay, beautiful. We're gonna talk about Augsburg men's hockey today. You see the Nick Garan interview up there from about a month ago that we have, and we're not gonna be interviewing anytime soon, unfortunately, Brett. I mean, you see the offense kind of struggling on the last two three series or so. 4 goals in the last 3 games, and partially due to Nick Garan being out. He's got apparently a neck injury. Got to see a specialist, and right now, I mean, there's no timetable for his return. Brett, I mean, what do they have to do to get some more offense and get the good times rolling again for Augsburg?
Early in the year, that first line, Nick Garan, Jim Jensen, Joel Sauer, was pretty much unstoppable. They're the hottest line in the nation. Joel and Nick were down the top 5 in the nation in scoring. I think Joel was leading the nation scoring for a while there, but it was just kind of some things. Their chemistry just seems off a little bit. Watch that Concordia series. It looked like they just weren't the same team that we saw earlier in the year. And even last year, they didn't really lose too much off that. They lost Critter Johnson, but off of last year's team, it was just one bounce away from going to the MIAC championship game. They really didn't lose that much. And I think some guys kind of maybe have forgotten maybe what their roles are and such, or maybe you guys are trying to do too much. But in the neutrals on it, I see a lot of stuff that it hasn't seen necessarily with the Augsburg hockey program. A lot of guys trying to do a little too much in the neutral zone, and I want to see guys get back to what they do well. Get guys get in the corner playing hard. Get guys in front, trying to bury the puck instead of guys trying to do too much dangling.
You talk about guys that need to step up. I mean, with Garan out, you have Joel Sauer, Jim Jensen, and Mario Miele, three guys that maybe. And you talk about roles. I see these guys more as maybe assist guys, setup guys, Chris Johnson types, maybe setup guys, and who needs to step up and really take over that explosive finishing role, and maybe guys that can dangle, and someone that can go end to end and then put one top shelf.
And I think definitely you got to look at your the 2 captains and the 3 captains: Mario Miele, Jim Jensen, Joel Sauer. I know those guys. I would be the first to tell you they haven't played as well as of late as they would have liked, but it's a new weekend this weekend against Hamline. It's kind of a rivalry. Brownie used to coach in Hamline, so it's kind of their big hockey rivalry. They've had some good playoff games in the past with them. 2 years ago in the playoff game and in the play-in game of the MIAC playoffs. But I just look for everyone just to kind of look themselves in the mirror and get back to doing what they do well. And this is a good hockey team with a lot of talent. A lot of guys who can put the puck in the back of the net. And right now, just no one's doing it, and someone's got to give. Someone's going to trigger them. I think they're going to have a game where they score 5-6 goals against a good team because they're going to put it all back together.
I mean, you see on the other end of the ice, both goalies playing spectacular. I mean, Justin Lochner obviously always right up there in goals against, right around 2-2 right now, I think. John Zitter, backup goalie, right around 2-0. I think he's at 1.99 right now, so sub 2-0. Very, very, very great performances from them. So while the offense hasn't been able to score a lot, they haven't been giving up that many goals either. So it must be nice to see and know that you're going to be always in the game.
One guy that's going really under the radar, talking from the defensive standpoint, is Brian Frischman. Senior defenseman. You don't see his name on the score sheet a lot. But he's just a guy who just doesn't mess up. He just does everything right. You're talking to players. He's just such a solid defenseman. He doesn't score a lot of goals, doesn't get a lot of assists, but he just gets the puck and gets it out of the zone. He doesn't try to do too much. And we talked about earlier how there's guys out there probably doing too much. Look at a guy like Brian Frischman who's doing everything right. He's doing what he's taught. He's staying with the basics. He's not going outside of his skill set. You talk about the goalies. John Zitter had that tough goal at the end of the first period there against Concordia with 0.8 seconds left off the draw. The center kind of pretty much just took a slap shot right as the draw came down from the ref, which is an unfortunate goal. When you lose by 1, you don't really want to point to that as the reason you lost. But it was an unfortunate situation. We had John Zitter and then Justin Lochner played fantastic in net. And that's something that has been constant with this program is great goaltending.
You look now, the last 4 series, 3 of them are against the other, 3 of the other bottom 5 teams in the conference. It's kind of a surprise to look up and see Augsburg second from the bottom. The standings, something you really wouldn't have guessed at the beginning of the year. So, do you think that maybe these last 4 series are a chance for them to maybe regain some of those points and get them back into that playoff hunt?
You got a team like Hamline, who again has been a big rival, who they swept 2 years ago, but then they lost to in the playoffs. And you got St. Mary's down the road, a team you should be able to get 4 points from. But it's just at this point they got to take it a game at a time. They're right where they were in the standings 2 years ago when they got the 5th seed in the playoffs. So you got to stay positive with that. But you look at this, you look at the standings. Hamlin's top and Bethel's 4th. And they are the 2 teams that have scored the most goals with 35 goals in conference games. Whereas you look at Augsburg and St. Olaf, who are at the bottom, they've each scored 17 goals so far this season. And that's definitely, there's a correlation with exactly why they are where they are in the standings, because they're struggling to put the puck in the net. And look for the next few games here against some teams that they're very familiar with. And I look for them will have a breakout game here where it all's going to click and they're going to get right back on it.
It's a huge series this weekend against Hamline, the top team in the conference, and the other 3 after that are going to be against some lesser teams. So hopefully they can get some momentum here. And then this is a team that always peaks late. It's a historical thing. The last 2 years they've made that playoff run. So for Brett Cloutier, I'm Mike Gallagher at Hamline, the the state polo grounds, I believe.
Yeah,
or the state fairgrounds.
State fairgrounds. Yeah, they used to be at over at St. Paul Academy.
Yeah.
They used to play. Now they're playing at State Fairgrounds, a little bigger arena for
That'll be
them.
fun.
And the Saturday back here.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. Get out and see either of those at 7 o'clock, I believe, and the game Friday. So, Brett Cloutier, thank you. I appreciate it, and we'll see you next week.